This is Disney Travel Tales, a trip report show helping you to become an expert at navigating your next Disney vacation. Join me every Friday for all things Disney related. Not traveling to Disney anytime soon? Never fear, we are still the show for you. Sit back, relax, and immerse yourself in someone else's trip. All the joy, none of the stress. All right, if you're ready, let's get to today's show. Hello, you are listening to episode 118, and I'm your host, Jenny, and today I am here to talk about my pre-trip report about my trip with my son, Asher, which is very upcoming. I personally love pre-trip report shows just because I'm a big planner, and I know there's a lot of you out there who are big planners as well. And I think it's really fun to have this plan, for your trip, and then to come back, have a chance to talk about it and then come back and see what you actually did. I've done pre-trip reports before, and it just cracks me up because we really don't follow it. We kind of follow the plan, but not as much as I always want to. But this trip is just a little bit different from some of my other trips. Okay, so let's just dive right into all the information. Lots of new stuff is happening on this trip with me and Asher. Asher will be on the actual trip report show where we talk about our entire trip, which will be coming out probably about a week or two after we get back. So our trip is July 30th through August 2nd. So originally I had planned our trip for July 31st to August 2nd. It was just going to be a very quick 2-night, 3-park day trip. Asher is he plays competitive baseball, and so his schedule is really crazy. It was really important to me that me and him got to go this summer. Aiden and I got to go last summer before his senior year of high school. Asher will be a senior this upcoming year. And so I was like, I have to squeeze this trip in somehow. And these were really the only dates. So I had originally planned us a really early flight leaving at 6 out of Austin around 6:30 a.m., landing in Orlando around 10:30. And we were just going to hit the ground running. Like that was our first park day. Well, about a week ago, I started getting nervous. Florida weather is really unpredictable, and with rains and storms, flights can get delayed, planes can get stuck in the air circling around. And I just started getting nervous that we were going to be delayed that first day. And since it is our first park day, just the thought of losing a lot of time in the parks kind of started, just making me nervous and giving me some anxiety. So I talked to my husband and I looked at our flights, and I ended up switching our flights to fly in the evening of July 30th. So we are going to be flying in on a Tuesday evening. We are going to land around 7:30 p.m. I, found us a great room for us to stay at a different resort. So we're going to get to stay at 2 new resorts, which I love staying at new resorts. So it all worked out really well for us. So this trip is actually going to have a lot of firsts for us, which I'm really excited about because every time I travel to Disney, I like to experience new things, not only for my own just personal benefit, but because I'm a travel agent and a podcaster, I like to get all the new information that I can for my listeners, for my clients. So I am doing things a little bit different on this trip so typically on my trips, my first day that I fly in is a park day. It's been a very long time since I've gone to Disney that my first day is not a park day. So I'm actually looking forward to the fact that we're getting there in the evening and we're not just trying to rush to get to a park to do as much as we can. So because of this, I've decided to rent a car. I've never rented a car in Orlando. I've always done Lyft, or I've done, a bus service. I have a transportation service that I highly recommend to my clients. They love him. He's great. And I was going to use him, but I thought, hey, this is my chance. Might be my one chance to get to rent a car and really experience that aspect of driving around Orlando, doing the whole rent-a-car thing at the airport and everything. So once we land, we will head over, grab our rent car, and head to our first resort. So the first resort we are staying at is All-Star Music, and we are staying in a family suite. Asher really wanted to stay at All-Star Sports. when we took the boys for our first trip to Disney, that's where we stayed. Asher just loves sports, all sports. And so he was really trying to get me to book us a room there. I just really want to stay at new resorts. I want to experience new resorts, and I really wanted him to experience a deluxe resort. So that's where we're staying for the rest of the trip. He's never stayed at a deluxe resort, so he's only ever stayed at value resorts. And so I really wanted him to kind of see what it was like, to get that experience, because last year when I took Aiden, he really enjoyed staying at a deluxe resort and was like, I don't know if I can ever go back at this point. So when I was adding on a night, I really did think about staying at All Star Sports, but when I saw that there was availability at All Star Music in this family suite, I've been wanting to stay in this family suite for so long. I have clients who stay here, and I just really wanted to experience it for myself, to get some personal room tour videos that I can share with people. I have clients traveling very soon staying in here, so he and I talked about it, and I told him All Star Music is right by All Star Sports. So we will definitely, while we are at this resort at some point, we will walk over or drive over and visit All Star Sports so he can see it again, and just kind of have that nostalgic experience. So part of renting a car that I'm excited and nervous about is driving on Disney property. I've heard that, you can't always rely on Apple Maps, that you kind of have to follow the signs. I've never driven on Disney property. I'm just really kind of looking forward to having this freedom. I've just always done Lyft, or just assumed that I wasn't going to rent a car. And so I think it'll be a fun experience, and I'm really excited to report back about that. But since we are getting there so late, I know our room will be ready. So I'm assuming at this point we will just go straight to our room. I'm hoping we can at least be at the resort around 8:15. Fingers crossed there's no delays in our flight. And the plan will be just to go check out the room. Of course, I'm going to do my room tour, so Asher will be locked out of the room until I am done with that. After I'm done with that, go in, kind of check out the room, walk around the resort, take some pictures, just take it slow, really enjoy it. But the main thing for this evening, the plan is to go over to Disney Springs. So after we kind of get it checked out, we'll either go over to the sports resort and check that out before it gets too dark and then head over to Disney Springs, or we might just wait and do the sports resort the next morning. But at some point we will go over there and, walk around and kind of check that out for Asher. But we'll head to Disney Springs. I will drive and park, so we don't have to deal with the transportation and the buses and everything. I have a list of just some things I want to do on this trip, things that I know Asher will love, just new experiences. And one of those is eating at Chicken Guy. One of Asher's favorite foods is chicken tenders. So I would like to head over to Disney Springs, eat dinner at Chicken Guy. I would like to try to get Gideon's cookies. I've never gotten Gideon's before. And so, I don't know exactly if that's realistic that late in the day, but I'm going to try. Visit the World of Disney, of course. And then, head to any store that Asher wants to go to. If I remember correctly, there is a candy store that he loves over in Disney Springs that we'll go to. And then if for some crazy reason the crowds are not too bad, I would like to see the drone show. So as far as the drone show at Disney Springs goes, that kind of was on a must-do list of mine when I had first heard about it and when I was kind of planning our trip. But at this point, I don't really care if I see it. I would like to see it if it's not just too insane. I don't really want to stand around and wait forever to see it. So we're just going to kind of see how that goes. It's definitely not a must-do for us, but if it happens, if just all the pieces fall in the right place, we will see that. And then after we get done with Disney Springs, just head back to our resort and, call it a night. Maybe go swimming. I don't know. Just see what we want to do. Relax. Just kind of see what we're feeling at that point. So then the next day will be July 31st. This will be our first park day. We have a 3-day park hopper ticket. One thing I'm also really looking forward to is trying out this new Genie Plus experience rollout with the Lightning Lane multi-pass. I'm going to get to, reserve some rides ahead of time, which we're still kind of working through that and what parks we want to do on what days. It's very different when you don't have dining reservations because your plans are very flexible. So as of right now, I am thinking that our first day, that Wednesday, is just going to be all day at Magic Kingdom. That is Asher's favorite park. And one of the reasons I wanted to stay at the resort we're staying at is because it's a walking distance to Magic Kingdom. And I wanted it to be, since that's the hardest park to get to, and it's his favorite park, I just wanted to be as close to it as we could. So when we wake up that morning, I will go ahead and get in a virtual queue for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I'm really excited to ride it, and so I will go ahead and do that. I am planning on purchasing ahead of time a lightning lane for Tron. And then as of right now, I think the rides I will choose for Genie Plus would be Space Mountain, Haunted Mansion, and Big Thunder. We might change that to Space Mountain, Big Thunder, and Jungle Cruise, but as of right now, those are kind of the ones that we're thinking about at this point. So we'll wake up, grab some coffee, and then we're heading to our resort, which is the Polynesian Resort. I am so excited to stay here. And we're not only staying here, but we are staying club level, which kind of feels dreamy. That is one nice thing about really short trips is you can stay at a nicer room because it's going to cost you less. So we're just going to have a resort view room, a standard room, but we are staying club level. So if you're not familiar with Club Level is offered at the deluxe resorts at Disney and Coronado Springs, which is a moderate resort, and it allows you to enter their special club at that resort. In this club, you're going to have some food, some drinks, some alcoholic drinks, just regular beverages. And typically, from what I've heard, the club at Polynesian has a really good view of the park, and so you can see fireworks from it. So I'm just excited to have the food option mostly. I did not get us a dining plan because of this. I'm a huge fan of dining plans, but because we have club access and we're so close to Magic Kingdom, I'm kind of going to use the club as a lot of our eating. So again, we're just going to see how all this goes. I'm not really sure how it's going to roll out, how we're going to feel about it. I've watched some YouTube videos about this club and the food offerings. It looks pretty decent. Just make sure you're following me on Instagram at Disney Travel Tales. I'm going to be doing lots of videos while we are on this trip and videos of the club, the food, everything, the room, everything. I'm going to have you totally covered on seeing it all. So the plan is to head over pretty early in the morning. I can never sleep in at Disney because we are at Disney, especially this is a short trip. And I told Asher, you will not be sleeping. So just be prepared. We're going to, open to close every day for the most part. This day we aren't going to rope drop the park because we are switching resorts, but we will drive over to Polynesian, check in. I'm assuming our room will not be ready because it will be in the morning, but we should be able to go into the club. So I'll just leave our bags in the car since, we have a car, we have that option, and then just head into the club and grab some breakfast. After that, we will walk over to Magic Kingdom and have a day. Like my thought right now is Asher really loves Space Mountain. So we are going to try to ride Space Mountain as many times as we can, ride the People Mover, hopefully get a virtual queue for Tiana's. I'm going to try to get our Tron for earlier in the day. We have extended evening hours at Magic Kingdom this evening. And so I'm also going to buy a lightning lane, or I'm going to try to get in the virtual queue for extended evening hours so we can ride Tron at night. But yeah, just ride some rides, eat lots of treats. I am making a list for this trip for the treats I want to eat. And because we're not doing any sit-down restaurants, I feel like we're going to have so much more opportunity for eating desserts, eating snacks, eating whatever we want. And Asher is like my eating partner. Like we will be able to, he can live off snacks. So we're just going to have a great day. I'm again assuming it's going to be extremely hot. So at some point in this later afternoon, I want to go back to the resort and head up the club again, see what they have in the afternoon for offerings, and then go to the pool for a bit. The Polynesian has an absolutely amazing pool that I'm really excited to swim at. I'm thinking we might head over there, just much later in the day, like 3 and 4. Since we have the nighttime at the park, I really want to take advantage of this midday break where we can go swim and enjoy the pool and relax. Then go to our room because the room should be ready around, later in the day. Change clothes, get freshened up, hit up the club again, go back to the club for some more food, and then walk over to the park. The Polynesian to Magic Kingdom is kind of a long walk, but there are a couple things I want to try while we're here to get there. So one of the things I want to do is walk. Another thing I want to do is the monorail from Polynesian over to Magic Kingdom. And then I've even thought about going from the Polynesian, depending on where our room is, walking over to the Ticket and Transportation Center and hitting the Magic Kingdom, like the theme park loop that'll take us straight there so we won't have to stop at the Grand Floridian. So these are just a couple of options that I've kind of already thought about on how to get to the park. Then that evening, I want to try to get in the virtual queue to get to ride Tron again. I was also thinking about possibly buying a lightning lane to ride Tiana's again. We'll see. Again, we're just going to kind of see how all this goes, but that's what I want to do. I definitely want to try to grab a quick spot. We are not doing a dessert party. I usually love dessert parties, but I just decided I really did not because this is such a short trip. I wanted the least amount of reservations as popular, so we were just very flexible with our time. So we are not doing a dessert party. I would like to watch Happily Ever After just because I love it. Asher's never seen it. So I'm hoping because there's just 2 of us, we can head back to the park and kind of squeeze in somewhere and get to see it. I haven't watched it from Main Street ever, so if I could kind of get on Main Street and watch it, I think that would be fun. Aiden and I watched it from the Tomorrowland Bridge. I enjoyed that because Tinkerbell flew right over us, but we'll see. And then just spend the evening at Magic Kingdom. Extended evening hours is absolutely one of my favorite things. It's, to me, such a huge factor in staying at Deluxe to have this option to get to go to the parks when not everyone is there. Last summer, extended evening hours was really, really busy. And I think this summer will be different because, first of all, it's the end of July, beginning of August. Just looking from availability on Disney's website, there's still so many rooms available. I don't think that the parks are going to be super busy. I don't really care at this point. I've gone so many times, but we'll see. So we're just going to spend the evening at Magic Kingdom, have a fantastic time, stay till the park closes, and then head back to the resort. Hi, this is Jenny, just popping on with some exciting news. I've started a Facebook group just for you. I'm really excited about this because not only will this be a great opportunity to get to know each other, but this is also a safe space to talk all things Disney. Members can share travel tips, resort tips, likes and dislikes, and the best part is this will give you an opportunity to talk to the guest on the show and ask them questions about their trips. I was trying to think of a fun name for us, and Disney Travel Tales Podcast Clubhouse came to mind. This is a private group, and of course, I will not allow anyone to be bullied or talked down to. I just want this space to be positive and fun. Check the show notes for a link to join, or just search Disney Travel Tales Podcast Clubhouse in Facebook. I can't wait to see you over there. So for our next day, I think we might sleep in a little bit. Our first park for this day will be Epcot. So because Epcot kind of gets a later start in the day, I think this is a really good option for us to get to sleep in for a little bit. Then we'll head to the club for breakfast, and then we will hop on the monorail and go to Epcot. One of my goals is to get to ride Guardians twice this day, so I want to buy a lightning lane ahead of time for Guardians, and then I also want to try to grab a virtual queue for Guardians. I love Guardians. It's my favorite ride at the parks. Asher's never ridden it, and so I think it'll be really fun to get to experience this with him. I don't know how the lightning lanes work that you get to book ahead, when you are going to get to book ahead of time, but as I'm thinking right now ahead of time, I am going to try to book Guardians with the lightning lane. I'm going to try to get Remy's because Asher's never rode that. And then we plan to go to Hollywood Studios later. So I would like to try to grab, if I'm able to, Slinky Dog and then maybe Tower of Terror or Rock and Roller Coaster. I'm not sure which one because Asher typically likes those rides. Well, he doesn't really like those rides, but he will ride those rides. So that's kind of my ahead of time thinking. So yeah, I will purchase, obviously I'm going to have Genie Plus for every day of the trip that we are there. So sleep in, go to the club, ride the monorail. Actually, what this day, what I think we're going to do is walk over to the Ticket and Transportation Center and then hop on the monorail that takes you to Epcot from there. So we will go to Epcot, and I just really want to explore this new area, that the celebration area that's opened. I want to see the performance that they're going to have there. I want to ride Guardians, Spaceship Earth, Living with the Land, Soarin', Test Track's Close. I want to enjoy the World Showcase and ride 3 Caballeros. I don't think we'll ride the Frozen ride. He's never rode it, but I don't really think he cares. I want to eat lots of treats. Again, here we go with my list of snacks that I want to get. Just walk in the shops, really enjoy the World Showcase. I love the World Showcase. And then ride Remy's. After we've done all of that, I also want to go watch The American Adventure. I've never watched that. Asher actually really loves history, and so I think this would be fun for him and I to do together. I want him to see the Voices of Liberty. I think he'd really enjoy that as well. Just spend as much time as we can here at Epcot. I think this might be the only time we go to Epcot. We might try to go again, depending if he likes Guardians on our last day, which would be the next day. But I want to make the most of Epcot at this time because I don't know if I'm going to get to go back. And I love Epcot, but this is his trip. So this might be our only chance. But after we're done with that, I want to walk over to Hollywood Studios. I've done this walk with with Aiden and Cameron. It's a great walk. So we're going to walk through the boardwalk. We might stop, grab a drink at the boardwalk, grab a snack at the boardwalk. But the plan is to just kind of walk through the boardwalk and then walk over to Hollywood Studios. We also might ride the Skyliner. I'm just going to see what Ash wants to do. I would probably prefer to walk, but I don't know if he's going to feel that way, so we'll see. Once we get to Hollywood Studios, the rides he's probably going to want to ride are Slinky Dog, Toy Story Mania, Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I think we're going to try to eat at Docking Bay 7. I've never ate there, so I would like to eat there, or ABC Commissary. I ate there a really long time ago, but I would like to try to eat there again. And then one of our goals for this day is to see Fantasmic. I haven't seen it since it came back, and I would really love to see it, and I think he would enjoy it. So probably plan. Oh, and I have not been to Hollywood Studios at night in a really long time. So that's kind of one of the goals too, is to be there at night. So to see Fantasmic and then to be there at night. So that should be fun. I'm excited to try all of this out. I'm assuming we'll be there, if we stay for Fantasmic, we'll be there until the park closes. So we will just ride the dreaded bus back to our resort, which is fine because this is probably one of the few times we'll actually have to ride the bus. So then the next day, and when we get back to the resort, just depending on how we feel, we might go swim again because I love swimming at night at Disney. It's one of my favorite things to do. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll visit the club again and see what they have for us once we get back. So then the next day is August 2nd. That is our final day. We are checking out. We fly out at 6:30 p.m. And so we got to cram in as much as we can before it is time for us to go. So the plan is to wake up early, to pack up our stuff, pack up our room, go to the club, eat one last time, and then leave the resort and put all our stuff in the car. This is another reason I decided to just go ahead and rent the car, because now if we would have done some kind of transportation service, we would have had to get back to our resort before we left. This way, it's just more fluid. It's easier. We can just kind of take the car with us and go. So the plan is to go to Animal Kingdom. I've thought also about us going to Magic Kingdom again, because we would have only gone that one time. So if Asher wants to go back to Magic Kingdom, we can go back to Magic Kingdom this morning and spend, however long he wants to spend there, and do whatever rides he wants to do, which I'm assuming he will want to do Space Mountain. He'll want to do Big Thunder. I don't know if he'll like Tiana's. We'll see. If he wants to do that, I can try to get us a virtual queue for that. If he wants to do Tron again, we can do that as well. So we might go to Magic Kingdom this morning, and then if we decide to do that, we'll just keep our car at the Polynesian, come back to our car, and then head over to Animal Kingdom. At some point in the day, we will be going to Animal Kingdom. And so that actually sounds like a really good plan. Magic Kingdom in the morning. I'm like planning this as we go. And then head back. We possibly will get to go back to the club, maybe grab some food, and then head over to Animal Kingdom and just maybe finish our day at Animal Kingdom. He wants to do Flight of Passage, Expedition Everest. I really don't know what else he wants to do there. Maybe do one of the walking tours. I don't think he cares about the safari so much. So we might have time to stop by another park. This might be a 3-park day. It would kind of be fun if we could try to make this a 4-park day. If we do a 4-park day, we could do Magic Kingdom in the morning, head over to Animal Kingdom, drive over to either Epcot or Hollywood Studios and Park, and then ride the Skyliner to the other one, and then ride the Skyliner back or the boat back. Yeah, this is all kind of coming together now. Maybe we could make this a 4-park challenge day. I don't know. We'll see. I'm really excited to see how our trip actually goes and what we're actually going to get accomplished on this trip. But I do know this day for sure we will be visiting Animal Kingdom, at least to just ride a couple of rides. Another restaurant I want to try to eat at, which I know is not that exciting to many, is Restaurant Saurus. Again, Asher really likes the type of food they have here, so I would like to check this out. Other restaurants just kind of hopping around, in our trip plans that I want to try to eat at is Columbia Harbor House. I love Columbia Harbor House. I would like to try to eat one of the new waffles at Sleepy Hollow. I want to go to Gaston's Tavern. They have a new food, a flatbread that I would like to try. Pinocchio's Village House, they have pizza. Asher's never had that. I would like him to try to have that. I think we might try Cosmic Rays. We are going to be at Magic Kingdom a lot, so I think we'll have more opportunities to eat there. And I'm going to let him kind of pick what he's feeling like for that day. But those are some of the places that I would like to try to eat while we are in the parks. Epcot, I don't know if there's necessarily a place I'm like, this is where I want to eat. Epcot to me is just more about grabbing snacks, like a snack here, a snack there. Sunshine Seasons we've never ate at, so we might eat there. I do know that Asher loves the big pretzel in Germany. We will definitely be getting that, I imagine. But Epcot is, just more of a snacky park. Hollywood Studios, I've already mentioned where we're going to try to eat. But yeah, so we'll see. And again, I'm making a list. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but I have my running list of the snacks I have to get on this trip. So on our final day we leave, August 2nd, we will fly out at 6:30. So we'll just head to the airport probably around 4, just because should head earlier. No, probably just about 4. We only travel with carry-on, so as long as we can get through security, we have TSA pre-check. As long as we can get through security and to our gate, we'll be fine. We don't have to worry about checking bags or anything. I do have to worry about Orlando traffic, but the last thing I want to do is head to the airport and just be stuck sitting there when we could be at the park having fun. So that is our trip. Make sure to follow along with us. I am going to be, taking y'all on our own adventure. Let me know if you have any questions, anything that you want me to try while we are there. I would love to do that for you. Next week's episode is going to be the Q&A. I had planned on this week being the Q&A, but if I'm being completely honest, I was so excited. I sat down and really started working on our trip. I was so excited to talk about the trip. I thought this is when I need to record this episode. So this is why the pre-trip report is out now. Next week will be the Q&A. There is still time to give me your question. You can email me your question. You can drop it in my direct messages on Instagram, or you can go over to our Facebook Clubhouse and leave your question there. That's a wrap on today's show. As always, thanks for listening. Make sure to visit us on Instagram at Disney Travel Tales. If you're wanting to support the show, the best and easiest way to do that is to leave a 5-star positive review on Apple Podcasts. It's so easy and means the world to me. Can't wait to be back next week with you. So until then, this is Jenny, and may all your Disney travel dreams come true.